Okay, I wanted to show you what I'm working on now. Now this is my brake slash switch. This activates the brake, and when I move it to the front and I push it forward, it activates the switch down there that makes the indexer rotate, and then this activates the brake. Now I took the sides off and the covers off. The cover, I don't know, that might look a little more familiar. But anyway, what I'm doing here is that originally I had this one plug in here for the switch. Now, if you remember, I had that plug and I had it notched on both sides so I could put that plug in there, and the switch only works one way. I mean, it's just on, off, on, off, on, off. But by connecting that plug either this way or 180 will make it rotate left or make it rotate right. That was the original. That's the original plug. And I put notches in here because I'm tired of cutting these wires if I have to do something to it. So I loosen the nut in the back and I just take this whole thing out. And I did the same thing over here too on both sides. Now what I added here was that this is going to go to the receiver part for the magnet. These 4 pins. One of these is going to be the power. The other one is going to be the ground. The other one's going to be the SCL, and the other one is going to be the SDA, which is the SDA is the A5 on the Nano, and the SCL, no, SDA is the A4, and the SCL is the A5. Okay, these notches, I extended them, like I said, so I can remove that nut in the back and take these guys out instead of cutting the wires. But anyway, let's talk about this one first, since we're talking about the SCL, the SDA. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but you know, it's kind of tough. Get a little crowded in there. But I got a green wire, I got white wire, I got red wire, and I got blue wire. Now the white wire I'm using as a ground. The red wire is the positive. The blue wire is the SCL A5 on the Nano, and the green wire is the SDA A4 on the Nano. Yeah, not a very good soldering job. But anyway. Okay, so what's going to happen here is that these 4 wires here with the little plug on it are going to go to the little screen. It's got them little plugs on the back. That's the screen. I pulled it off trying to get that big screen to work. I got it working, but it takes so much memory out of the Nano, I don't think I'm going to use it. And these plugs I got here, I bought these when I bought the breadboard and all the other stuff. I bought these packs of connectors for the breadboard. And they gave me a whole pack of them. Well, actually, they didn't give them to me. I paid for them, but... So anyway, what I do is these little square ends, they fit into the little squares on these guys. So I snipped this end. I snipped one of the ends, and then I just soldered it to the lug there. So it's an extension. So when I put the screen on there, I can plug it in, and then if something happens, I can just unplug it, and I don't have to worry about cutting the wires on this. On everything else, I'd have to cut the wires because there's no connectors. So on this side, the aviation connectors here, that's going to be from my power supply, my 5-volt power supply. You got the power coming in here, the positive. This is the negative. That's the positive. And that's coming over here to the Nano. Now I just got it taped in there. When I get done, I'll put a little piece of glue or something on there. But what I did was this piece was hollow. Not hollow, but there was nothing there. It was just like this side, it was just a flat plate that the solenoid gets mounted to. So I made a little, I took a little piece of Delrin, I put a little hollow spot in it so that the Nano would recess into that hollow spot. And then I connected the wires onto it. Well, I connected them on before I put it in. And it's a great little place for that to sit. I mean, I had to put it somewhere, so it fit right in there. And I got those, got it holding from the back side. That's these screws right here. They're from the back side. So these are the wires that come off of it. I got this red one, this black one. Actually, the black and the white. That was a piece of ribbon cable. This is red, black, and white. That was a piece of ribbon cable that I had, so I thought I might as well use it, and I'm not using the white part. I'm just using the red and the black. And then I got the the blue wire and the green wire, which is my SCL and SDA, and they just go around over to this plug over here. So this middle one is the original switch. That was just this switch down here at the bottom. That just goes up to here. So that's where I mounted the Nano. And nobody's mentioned it before, but on the Nano, I've been plugging it into the cable into this to power it. But you have to have a power supply. Other than that, the ones I see on TV, everybody's just plugging them into this, like I said, the cable into this piece. So the power has to come in here from my power supply, and it goes to, I think it was the first pin, and it was the I think it's VDD. VIN. I see it right there. The first one, VIN. That's where the 12 volt comes in to power the board. And then the next one is the ground. And then the next one is, I think they skipped that one. Then the next one is the 5 volts that power the magnet receiver. But it's the same setup as the full-size Arduino. So anyway, that's where I mounted it. There's plenty of room for it. Plenty of room for the wires. So what I'm thinking about doing is, I kind of butchered this job, but we'll make it work. One way or another, we'll make it work. So I'm gonna put you up here. So somehow, I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm going to put these through here. Actually, my original thought was to lay this flat. Now I had a thing that I made. I don't know if I'm going to go with it. This was a glass lens. Now these little straps back here, this gets mounted in there. These little straps hold that, and then it goes through there. Well, I'll take these bolts out. This is a piece of plexiglass that goes through there. Don't worry about these slots. But this was the original idea, was that this gets mounted so you can see it through that piece of glass or plexiglass. Then the little straps in the back hold that up. But that was the original idea. That way it's nice and flat. But the more I thought about it is that, you know, I'm kind of like over on the side, and then I'm, you know, like flipping the handle, and if I was to look at the screen, I'd have to like put my head over there and basically look down on it to see the numbers. So I'm thinking about lifting the screen up and having it, elevate the screen, and then maybe put it on a little angle. So that's kind of what I was thinking. That way, you know, I don't have to be directly over it. I can be somewhere behind it and still see it. But we have to kind of figure that one out a little bit. But that was the original idea. I took that piece and cut that, and was going to have it fit in there, and then put these bolts through from the top side and kind of make that work. But you know, that's part of the deal. You say, well, I come up with an idea, and you know, halfway through the idea you say, yeah, I should have done this or should have done that, and all right, well, let's go ahead and go that way, you know. We'll save that. We never know. Might have to go back to that. But that's what I was thinking with this. Go ahead and mount that on the table with that one bolt. Have that going like that, and that way you can just look at the screen and see where you are, because you're already activating it. That way you don't have to have a separate monitor. Everything's right here. Try to make it as compact as possible. I put them sides on there and put that top on there, and it'll all be one unit. Just plug the cord in the back for the power. Plug that in. That's going to go over to where the motor is, behind the motor to the indexer. That's going to be just like an extension cord. Got to run these wires all the way over there. So when that thing's rotating, it'll come back into the little nano and figure all that jazz out and display it on the little screen. Yeah, these wires, you know, these wires I got, they're not the best of best wires around. You know, they make them cheap because they figure you're only going to use them a couple times anyway, and I just need this thing to work and don't want to be moving these around too much. We'll have to upgrade it a little bit. Maybe get some better connectors. Well, hey, give it a shot, see what happens, you know. Sometimes they put that aluminum wire in there instead of copper, and they don't hold up so good. But anyway, that's the plan with this thing. Got the air lines coming in here, coming out here. And the air that exhausts through this port will help cool that. I don't know how hot it gets. I don't think it gets that hot. But yeah, the air that every time I go to activate that brake, the air is going to come out and circulate around there and help cool it off. And there's a lot of metal there too. I don't think it's going to get that warm. But hey, you know, we're getting somewhere. And we know that this thing works. All we have to do is just plug all the components in to where they're finally going to be, and that way we have something. Right now we just got, it's all scattered all over the place. You know, there's like, we know it works, we just got to put it together now. Make it work. Functional work instead of just play work. Alright. We'll see what happens.